For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived in an immediate return environment. Whether it was finding a meal, seeking shelter, or avoiding a predator, every decision our ancestors made yielded instant, clear results for their survival. In this world, there was no reason to plan for the distant future. The brain evolved to master the present moment, prioritizing quick payoffs that secured safety and calories right now. Modern humans are walking around with this exact same Paleolithic hardware. Our neocortex, the part of the brain responsible for higher functions, is roughly the same size today as it was 200,000 years ago. However, in just the last few centuries, society has shifted into a delayed return environment. Today, you work for a paycheck that arrives in weeks, exercise for a body that changes in months, and save for a retirement that is decades away. When we struggle to build good habits, it is rarely a lack of willpower. It is a biological mismatch between an ancient brain wired for instant results and a modern world that demands we wait for them. This tendency to value the present more than the future is known as time inconsistency. Because a reward that is certain right now is worth more to our brains than one that is merely possible in the future, we naturally gravitate toward quick hits of satisfaction. This is why bad habits are so easy to form. Smoking might cause lung cancer in 10 years, but it reduces stress and eases a nicotine craving immediately. The reward is instant, while the cost is delayed. Good habits work in reverse. The immediate outcome, the effort of the gym or the deprivation of a diet, is often unenjoyable, while the favorable consequences are buried in the future. When the moment of decision arrives, you are no longer choosing for your future self who wants to be healthy or wealthy. You are choosing for your present self who wants to be full, comfortable, and entertained. Since we cannot change our evolutionary wiring, we have to change the strategy. To make a habit stick, we must find a way to pull the rewards of the future into the present moment. In the late 1990s, public health worker Stephen Luby traveled to Karachi, Pakistan, where over 60% of residents lived in densely packed squatter settlements. They lacked proper waste removal, had no working electricity, and no clean water. The unsanitary conditions led to widespread illness. Diarrhea, vomiting, and pneumonia were rampant, and nearly 1/3 of the children in these settlements were malnourished. Luby's team found that while residents knew hand washing was important, few made a habit of it. Many would only wash one hand, or simply forget to wash before preparing food. The problem wasn't a lack of knowledge, it was a lack of consistency. To bridge this gap, they partnered with Procter & Gamble to supply the neighborhood with Safeguard soap. Compared to the standard bars available, Safeguard foamed easily, smelled great, and felt like a premium product. Suddenly, hand washing provided a positive sensory signal. Because the experience was pleasurable, the behavior became more frequent. Within months, the rate of diarrhea fell by 52% and pneumonia by 48%. When Luby returned 6 years later, over 95% of the households had maintained the practice. They had become habituated, not because of the long-term health benefits, but because the act itself provided immediate satisfaction. This same logic built the world's biggest brands. Gum was a bland resin until Wrigley added flavors like spearmint to make it fun to use. Toothpaste manufacturers enjoyed massive success only after adding mint and cinnamon flavors to create a clean mouthfeel. These flavors don't make the products more effective, they simply make the experience satisfying. They complete the habit loop by providing an immediate reason to repeat the behavior. This leads to a fundamental rule of behavior. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. Making a habit obvious, attractive, and easy increases the odds you will perform it today. But making it satisfying is what increases the odds you will do it again tomorrow. This is relatively simple for behaviors we want to start, but what about habits of avoidance? It is difficult to feel satisfied when you are not doing something, like skipping a frivolous purchase or avoiding alcohol. One solution is to make the avoidance visible. By opening a savings account labeled for a reward, like a trip to Europe, and transferring the money you would have spent on a latte or Netflix, you create an immediate hit of success. Seeing the balance grow feels better than the feeling of being deprived. However, these short-term rewards must reinforce your identity. Rewarding a gym session with a bowl of ice cream creates a conflict of interest. A massage, on the other hand, is both a luxury and a vote towards taking care of your body, aligning your short-term pleasure with your long-term vision. Eventually, as a better mood and more energy kick in, you'll need less outside encouragement. The habit becomes who you are, and the identity itself becomes the reinforcer. Building lasting change isn't about fighting your ancient biology. It's about working with the grain of human nature, using immediate pleasure to sustain your progress until your habits become part of your identity.